When I think back on how I became a naturopathic physician, I really think that all roads led to me becoming a naturopathic doctor. I certainly didn't start out as a young child wanting to be a physician. I actually wanted to be a veterinarian. And so I did work with animals for a long time. I even worked for a veterinarian on Park Avenue, and at the same time I was studying to become an emergency medical technician. So I began to expand my caring and wanting to help, to realize that there were a lot of people that needed help in addition to animals that needed help. Another part that led me there was that I always was interested in wildflowers. Since I was in high school, I was taking pictures of wildflowers, and then came to learn that all those wildflowers were botanical herbs and had medicinal properties. When I was in New York working at Sloan Kettering and then at Cornell University Medical College, at night I would study art, I would study drumming and energy, and I realized that all of this was coming together to help lead me to naturopathic medicine, especially when I was working on the ambulances. I worked on a private ambulance company where we would work at night in a lot of nursing homes in and out of New York City, transporting from nursing homes to ERs all over the 5 boroughs. And I really got to see what was happening to us warehousing our elderly. And another thing that happened when I was working on the ambulances is that one of the ambulance EMTs from the city service told me, well, you can never work for the city because you care too much about your patients. And at that point I said, well, what's wrong with that? So when I heard about naturopathic medicine, it definitely felt like aha moment. Like here was everything that I've always been interested in. Science, plants, herbs, caring about people, wanting to help people. When I worked in the ambulance, my favorite calls were the so-called sick calls, not the trauma calls. I wasn't the adrenaline junkie that wanted to go out and do trauma calls. I loved it when I got to sit in the back of the ambulance and talk with the patient. And I realized that this was the type of medicine that I really wanted to do. While I was working in research, I actually reapplied to veterinary school. And during the interview at Cornell University Veterinary College, they asked me, why aren't you going to medical school? And I think at that point, because I was working within the system, I was seeing a lot of what we all recognize are gaps. So here we are, being able to provide the support for our patients in those gaps that still exist today. Being able to provide the lifestyle and low force intervention and helping patients to understand that food is their best medicine and that no amount of intervention is going to overcome a bad diet and a bad lifestyle, and that we can be the ones to help our patients make those really difficult choices. It's not easy to change your diet. It's not easy to change your lifestyle, and you're not going to do it by saying, well, you need to eat better and exercise more. We need to be there and walk with our patients side by side. And so I think everything that I did led me to that point, and I've never looked back. And now I realize that my greatest joy is educating the next generation of naturopathic physicians, because we are going to change the world.